Should you own a Rolex GMT-Master Pepsi? This may very well be the single most popular, discussed watch that has come out in the past few years. But should you have it? Today I'm going to tell you about my personal journey towards purchasing a Rolex GMT-Master 2 Pepsi. Watch collecting is a habit that can easily get out of hand. For years, my privileged position as an industry analyst, I was rarely desirous of owning the watches I was able to temporarily access with ease. It was like being a part of a private members club that ensured I always had the latest novelties on my wrist. Why would I shell out my hard-earned cash to own these pieces I could just borrow for a couple of weeks before moving on to something new? When I took a hiatus from writing to focus on growing the international sales network of a well-known German brand, I started buying watches for myself. The floodgates very quickly opened, and before I knew it, I had a list of watches I simply had to have. So fastidious was the nature of my obsession, I even compiled sublists broken down by which display case the watches would sit in. Their groupings defined by brand, color, or function to create a mental map of reputational, aesthetic, and mechanical harmony. To turn this exercise into a game and to put some realistic boundaries on my newfound habit, I set a limit of 30 pieces. One piece, however, was never in doubt. Although I do not regard myself as a total Rolex fanboy, there can be no denying the lure of the crown. And what piece has a greater all-time lure for mere mortals hoping to own a piece of quintessential brand history than the Rolex GMT-Master 2 range? The temptation of the Rolex GMT-Master, and especially its more modern iteration of the GMT-Master 2, is that it is incredibly accessible. The retail price of the Rolex GMT-Master 2 Pepsi that launched to worldwide acclaim and much fanfare at Basel World 2008 was a trifling $9,000. I don't mean to suggest that $9 grand is a throwaway sum of money, but it is the kind of figure real people could accept spending on a watch at some point in their lives, especially in an age of finance options. Yes, it's a lot in practical terms, but for what it is, and for the furor it caused upon release, it's a no-brainer. Anyone lucky enough to get their hands on one at the time of release is already looking at a resale value way above the price they paid. Selling one of these pieces right now, however, is madness in my opinion. Rolex will never produce enough watches to ensure every man, woman, and uber-rich child that wants one can get one on their wrist. The strategy of scarcity is one Rolex has perfected. They control the desire of the customers and would-be customers like a master puppeteer. There are myriad options beyond the most collectible Pepsi bezels to suit all aesthetic tastes. The cool thing is, from a collector's perspective, is that everyone has slightly different tastes. But respect transcends these personal preferences. Buying into a Rolex GMT-Master 2 club isn't just buying a cool watch. It's buying into a niche, passionate community of like-minded people. The most surprising thing is that this piece is currently selling for close to double its original retail price. So if you're thinking of splurging anytime soon, I can assure you that this Jubilee bracelet and glowing blue and red bezel will give you your worth. Thank you for watching this video, and please tell us in the comments what you would like us to discuss next. To browse our selection of over 40,000 watches and other luxury goods at discounted prices, please visit Jomashop.com.